in your novels. You always present little people. Thackeray replied, I hope a mirror up uh, to nature, and I do not find heroes among mankind. They are filled with littleness and pettiness and strife and sin. When you get to the end of Vanity Fair, Thackeray does a masterly thing. He says, come, children, let us shut up the box and the puppets, for our play is played out. That is man. As Shakespeare said, he uh, struts and frets his hour upon the stage. Man is filled with wildness. The Dr. Griffith Thomas pinned it down a little closer when a person who was very much distressed came to him one day and asked, don't you think that the world is become Christian today? Dr. Thomas said, no, I do not think that that is true. I think the world has become a little churchy, but I think the church has become immensely worldly. Since World War II, there has been a breakdown of the wall of separation between church and the world. The separation that many had practiced was logic and I think unscriptural. The church was like the little Dutch boy who was keeping his thumb in the dike. Then, in the aftermath of the war, along came television, lawlessness, immorality, and juvenile delinquency. After the beatniks and the hippies and the dope and the marijuana and the philosophy of existentialism, a tidal wave swept over the dike of separation, and even the little Dutch boy was washed away. There is no simple answer to the question that what is worldliness. But I am going to let James give what I think is his very definite answer. What is worldliness? James says that worldliness is strife and envy. We need to go back to chapter 3 to pick up his thoughts. In James chapter 3 and verse 13, we read, who is a wise man and endowed with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conscience his work with meekness and wisdom. Faith is the major in James's university, and all elective courses are related to faith. Works of faith bring meekness. Then we read, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle. James chapter 3 and verse 17. There is meekness or humility, and humility means submission. In James chapter 3 and verse 16, we read, for where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work, that is worldliness. And worldliness in the church has produced all the cults and denominations, factions, divisions, and cliques which have arisen and abound in the church today. There is a spirit of revelry and jealousy in the church. In the previous verse, James described this as earthly, that is, it is confined to the earth. It is sensual, that is, psychological, and then it's devilish or demonic, which is something quite terrible, my friend. What do envy and strife produce in this world? They produce confusion and every evil work. That is as background. We can recognize that James is saying now in chapter 4 And that concludes that section.